Alright. Let's pause our heroes. Okay, we've had something actually go right this trip. That's amazing. Not only have we done a fantastic shakedown run all the way to Marble Falls and back, so on the road probably a total of an hour and a half, because we cruised around in town some. We actually got stuck in traffic. It never got above 181 degrees. Everything seems to be working nicely. Now we're working on the cold air system, and it looks like we actually have all the parts we need. This gasket was too small, but we had another filter, and it had the right size, and luckily the two gaskets interchanged. Popped one out of that one into the other one, and it's looking nice.
I would love to say that this is the way that I planned it. We just happen
to have all the parts.
The right length, straight that we needed there. The one that we had before was about 12 inches long. This is a little bit shorter, and I'll be damned if it doesn't fit perfectly. It's almost exactly like we had planned it here. I wanted the filter to fit down into that pocket, but not go all the way. You know, I wanted to open up that area, but still have a shelf for that thing to fit on, and I'll be damned. It fits in there like it was actually engineered to. So I'll take a victory on that one. Here's the box that we're going to trim up here shortly to fit that. So I guess we're going to be cutting a half parabola, perhaps. We'll figure out how that looks. But wow, that's going to be perfect.
So we have to cut that hole down there. It'll get air from in here and just suck it there and not be sucking it from in here. So
yeah, I was actually thinking about maybe cutting a slot on this side of this pocket in here, so it gets a little air in there. We could maybe cut a couple of slots. So
we'll get it done.
Ta-da. Sawing holes in my car.
It's a precision instrument.
Doctor, not a surgeon.
Oh yes.
Hell yeah, brother. As if it were made for it. I think that's going to work out just fine, so that we can get some air up in that filter and up into my engine. That is all good.
Yeah, we're gonna have to move this. It clears, but I don't like it. We may need to cut a hole on that side too, so it sucks air from in there. But the car was a lot, well, I mean, it wasn't a lot warmer, but it was warmer. That's better. Now, what I'm wondering is if it's going to be able to draw enough air through that hole, you know, when you're going at, you know, cruising at 2,000 RPM. So that's something we need to check. This is solid on there, so we may want to cut a hole right there so that we're drawing air from under here too.
Cut a round hole in it?
Yeah.
thinking cutting some slots in the pocket, radial slots.
In the pocket.
Yeah, where that filter fits down. You see, I mean, it's drawing air from the bottom.
Right.
This would allow it to draw air from around because it's sitting down in the pocket.
Yeah.
It's starting to heat up a little bit now.
180. Oh, that 90 degrees. Yeah, we're probably gonna have to cut some more holes in there.
Here, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because that's gonna draw down from, you know, behind there and down from the, behind the bumper down there.
Okay. So this is the plane for the center line. If we want to move it inside a little bit, so this is about where, this is the width of that slot. It's here. Okay, so our holes have to be in here. So.
But further down.
Yeah, they have to be down here on this face. So I'm thinking, what one is that?
Nothing like a clean workbench. I wouldn't know what that's like.
That's about 7. Center line
That's
is
what you
about. So this would be the center line, bring it down to where we want it to line up in here. So let's mark here. One down.
Pull it back apart. We are trying to figure out AC. We have different years parts for different years, trying to mix and match, and we are running into a difficulty right here. Either we have two different dryers. One dryer bolts into this but won't bolt into the hose that we have. One dryer will not bolt into this but does bolt into the hose that we have. So we're going to take the hose to an actual AC guy and see if they can put the fitting for the dryer that fits on the evaporator core, and see if we can make a seal and make all this stuff work.
Built not bought.
Yeah. We seem to have left the key on last night, so the battery's dead.
And by we, you mean me.
Well,
I know you're being nice.
yeah.
So I was a little
Something like that.
disappointed with the solution that we had for our fuse box. I thought we could use a 4x4 conduit, but it wasn't quite deep enough. It was about 60,000 short. What's the 16th between friends, right? But could have caused a short in there, so we didn't want to risk it. The reason that we were trying to enclose that is because we were getting some water over there in the engine compartment, but that was when we didn't have a good cover on it, and it was just exposed to the elements. So now we've got a cover on it. It'll probably stay in the garage. I don't think it's going to be a problem. So we're going to bolt it in and we're going to forget about it and move on. It's too much effort on a fuse box cover. So we're just going to leave it the way it is. It's fine.
So we are going to clean up some wiring today. I've got some solder connectors that I want to try out and get some things routed and cleaned up so it doesn't look like such a rat's nest. We have determined, we put it up on the lift yesterday, we've got several leaks under there and we were trying to determine all the sources, and we have come to the conclusion that now that we have a running, driving hot rod, we need to pull the motor out and fix a bunch of leaks. So
Right.
we're-
So We'll have to do that sooner rather than later. We'll probably get all the parts for the AC, but maybe not bolted in. We can't go too much further without fixing this, okay? So it'll be within the next month or two. We'll probably need maybe 3 days uninterrupted that we can work on it, pull it out, fix the leak, put it back in, and get it running again. So.
Strangely enough, the transmission doesn't seem to be leaking at all, which is fantastic. But the motor seems to be leaking in more than one location. So we are going to pull it out, figure out what we did, put it back together, and we've also got a power steering leak. We're going to replace those lines and make sure that that's all buttoned up and sealed. And we are going to get a transmission cooler line, either push lock or braided line, so that we can make sure we don't have any more leaks there, because it's leaking in several points on these homemade lines of ours. So, yeah.
Avoid worm clamps, guys. Avoid them, okay? I know that they're cheap and plentiful. Avoid like the plague. They're the worst kind of clamp to use. We're finding this out over and over again. So that's why we're going to replace those transmission lines, mostly because we can't get the leak to stop with the worm gear that we're using. Maybe if we use a different clamp, that would help the problem. We're just going to solve it outright.
So anyway, we are going to clean up some stuff that we can clean up right now. We are going to schedule a time, like he said, about 3 days straight, so that we can hopefully get it in, or pull the motor out, get everything tightened up, get it back in, and get it running again. And then we can start scheduling a time to get this thing to Houston. Soon. So we're going to work on the shifter a little bit today. We're going to work on some wiring today. And maybe do 1 or 2 things to 82 so that I can actually start getting it on the road and tuning. Soon. Much to do. Mike has actually wounded himself. Had to go inside for some first aid.
I'm going back in.
He is going to make this shifter work how it was designed to work. Just trying to put on a little bitty C-clip right now. And with that on, and yeah. So, but we're getting closer with that. We found some screws that we had been looking for. We're still missing others. I got these push lock lines all done and taken care of for the steam vent tubes. They're looking good. The cold air box, I think, looks pretty good. Make sure that we're not drawing a bunch of engine air in there. And we're still charging. It ain't right.
So, I'm going to have to contact B&M and find out what size it is, and then get another one like it, and probably a few extras, because it ain't going to be easy to pop on there.
An extra-ly.
A few extra leads, but this, I'm just going to put it back in place. It's held in place with a couple of screws, and put this boot on there, put my shifter handle on, and call this done for now. That's all I can do. But I think this indicator will probably work the way that it is. The cable is kind of sitting at an angle. I don't think it's going to come off until I can get it fixed. If it does, I still know what gear I'm in, so it's okay. But it will get fixed. Delivering value, okay? We are trying to deliver some value.
We have a running, driving car. It has plenty of value, even though we're about to pull the motor out of it. Start all that again. Good times. We have been able to cross a few things off.
Just realized where I made the error before on my cold air intake stuff. I've written a 3 up here because we were working with Patrick's stuff. And I think yours is, the stuff we were working with that day was 3-inch. It was actually 4. So after 3 tries, 3 separate purchasing excursions, we got all the parts, and that is done.
That is this right here.
Yes, that's a fabulous piece of workmanship. I wish I could take full credit for it. I just put it all together with some help. So the extra-ly is done. The reorient the exhaust outlets where we may It's partially done. We're probably gonna have that exhaust redone by a professional, but right now, I'm gonna claim it okay. We'll cross it off because we're not doing it. What else we got?
Console.
Console, yeah. Let's take a look at that console. That looks pretty nice in there.
Tuning and wideband, you can.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to do more tuning, but
We got more.
the wideband is out anyway.
Replace gas pedal, dipstick. I think we've got the dipstick problem fixed, right?
Well, we'll see when we pull the motor out.
We may be adding this back on. Our 2.5.
That's done.
We're done here. AC. What is this? Alignment. We still haven't got a line.
Flush overflow tank can be crossed off because you got a new overflow tank.
Yeah.
Because when you tried to flush the old overflow tank, it broke.
Just broke it right off. Clean wiring harness. Nope. What is this? Our shifter C-clip.
Well, that's there is another cable in there that actually shifts the car, and it had a larger C-clip. That one is on.
So it is off the list. Oil pressure gauge, A pillar.
Done.
Dunzo. And it looks good. What else? So we still got wipers. We got to figure out that. As long as we don't drive on a rainy day, we're okay. Along with wipers, I still have we have to attach the wiper tank.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, wiper tank. We must find a place for it.
Continued on next piece of cardboard.
I don't know, I'm going to have to.
So,
Oh, wait, there's more.
the gauges are installed. They both work. We're going to have to clean up the wiring down there, of course. The console looks really good. I'm liking how that turned out.
Yeah, except for when I broke the back of it, it
Yeah,
was
but
already cracked.
You can't see it from this angle.
Ha ha ha, yeah, that's from 10 feet, it's gonna look good. When people look in the car,
It's
which
gonna
they
look
will,
beautiful.
it's gonna look like it was, made to be there, so.
And even when you lift this, you really can't see it.
I'm gonna call that an access panel
Yeah.
and let it go with that until it gets replaced.
Mike actually shed a little blood on that project.
A little bit.
So,
I didn't cry this time.
we're making progress. We're gonna fix some leaks and kick it in the butt and send it to Houston.
Soon.